Okay, guys, welcome to the stream. I should have put this up 10 minutes ago. This is, if you're watching this after the fact, this is like a, um, how they say, impromptu, you hear me? Okay, impromptu. So if you're watching this after the fact, impromptu, you hear me? What is up, guys? So we are about to watch this video by this guy, how I'm playing AI crypto run in a bear market. So these are the channels I'm watching to get my news.
AI cryptocurrencies, because right now they're having a run that, just simply put, doesn't feel like a bear market. A lot of these cryptocurrencies have begun to run 10, 20, 30, 40% just over the past week alone. In this video, I want to talk about how I'm playing this as someone that is not heavily invested into AI cryptocurrencies. It's still a bear market, but is allocating capital into this specific niche. I'm hyper obsessed with AI. In fact, I have a third channel dedicated to AI. I have local models. I have sub agents. I do everything when it comes to AI because I feel it is the single most important place to not only park your capital, but to be involved in. Whether or not you believe in the future of AI is absolutely irrelevant. If you're not utilizing this technology, you're missing out on tons and tons and tons of not only profit, but knowledge, because really the world is your oyster when it comes to AI. So let's talk about what's going on in the AI space. Before I do that, I really want to hone in on...
Listen, I don't know if this guy is always talking about AI. So he's sponsored, well, not sponsored, but
the prior predictions that I was talking about, because I think what's the point of Jesus talking about what's happening today if the things that he talked about before weren't accurate, right? Let's be honest. We got to establish some credibility. So 1 and 2 on my top 10 AI cryptos ranked was 1 was BitTensor and 2 was Venice Token. I think number 6 was Near Protocol. That one was on the watch list. So that wasn't like, oh, you need to urgently go and buy this thing. Now, as time evolved, I think the price was about $1.60 by this time. But I made a video on Near Protocol Explained. I heavily recommend watching that video if you are getting into Near Protocol, if you're trying to understand what's going on. So just to kind of get you up to speed on what the crypto space is thinking and how I think about the gains being made in crypto, like where the money is going, I believe in this one law of power very much. In fact, if there's one book that I want you to read, and I encourage you to read, I think
I ain't about to read this book.
Reading is something that will be invaluable, especially at a time where people's attention spans are only ever decreasing, is this. So Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power has Law 23. So Law 23 is the following: concentrate your forces. It states that intensity defeats extensiveness. You yield far greater results by focusing your energy deeply on a single rich mine than by spreading it thinly across many shallow ones. So what does that mean? What that means is that instead of going all over the crypto space and trying to find every emerging niche to maximize your gains, so to say, if you focus on one niche that you're good at, you can build an edge, which is going to make you ever so profitable. And also, if something's already working in the crypto space, there's no reason to change that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, that's one of the oldest quotes of all time, and it really applies.
I don't know, cause like, let me get my other computer set up. But the thing is, like, I don't know, if you got money, maybe that works. But like, if you just starting out, you ain't really got no money in. You're gonna try to be looking around different stuff. So I don't know. But also, hey, I'm not, listen, at Jam Crypto, if you see this, man, I'm not hating on you, bro. But BitTensor has a creator program. So, like, they literally pay you. I tried to join it, but I don't have enough subscribers or something.
To the AI cryptocurrency space. Not only will getting into the most important niche of our time, AI, I mean, just look at the stock market if you don't believe me. Not only getting into the most emerging niche is that like a very important thing, and most of the gains are going to be made in that niche. But also, the way I see this is I double down on this law. I don't believe in investing into a bunch of different AI crypto coins. I understand that in the stock market, there's a rule, and if you're invested into stocks, you should know this, where no one stock should exceed 5% of your portfolio allocation. Being diversified in the stock market is very important. Now, the reason for that, the reason it's so important to be diversified in the stock market is because no one stock can tear you down. And of course, you got to be safe rather than sorry. A lot of these stocks that you're investing in have much longer time horizons. I'm talking about a decade, 2 decades until you retire, essentially. These are investments that you're going to be holding for the rest of your life, for the most part. Now, when it comes to the crypto markets, I don't think that way, like at all. Listen, I've been here for 5 years, and the one thing I've learned is that you need to be a hyper-capitalist, you need to be greedy, and also at the same time, you need to understand that this is the wild, 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 wild west. This is like if you took penny stocks in the stock market and you put them on steroids. Most of these cryptocurrencies will, quite frankly, not be around probably over the course of the next 365 days. And so we cannot have that same time horizon, that same logic from the stock market, applying it to the crypto market. I can't say, oh, only 5% of my port can be in the top cryptocurrency in AI, because the way that the crypto market works is so different from the stock market. When you're in a place that is hyper-capitalist, what that means is only the mightiest, the best products will get a vast majority of the gains. Then you have to bet on the top cryptocurrencies. That's just how it works. You have to be a momentum trader. And I understand that it's not exciting to do that. You know what's more exciting? To pick some random coin here in the top 1,000 and then see if it'll 100x. Like, isn't that?
Oh, I thought he was literally going to say that. I thought he was saying that. He's like, no, stick with the main ones. I literally thought he was going to say pick a meme coin. This dude just hit me with the craziest juke. That was a spin move right there. He literally was like, the timeline, you have to work fast, and then he's like, so pick a blue chip.
That exciting, but that's gambling, okay? If you're into gambling, go for it. Do it. Put it all on black. But, not financial advice, by the way. Please don't do that. But I know some of you actually probably will. But the thing is that when you're coming into an industry like this, we have to think of the mindset that just like concentrate your forces, law 23 of the 48 laws of power, the majority of gains in the cryptocurrency space are going to be made on whatever has attention at the moment. That's why I've been a narrative-based trader for a very long time. And I know people don't like that because they're like, oh, so he's flip-flopping all the time. Yes, Jesus is flip-flopping all the time because there's no clear winner in the crypto space. And have we forgotten that it's a bear market? You should not be allocating a tremendous amount of capital. And just because I'm saying, oh, Jesus allocated 6 figures into this and that, it's like, because I'm comfortable with losing that. I will be okay if I lose that. At the end of the day, you have to allocate an okay amount of capital into a bear market, but also like, I get it. While there are these YouTubers that will tell you, oh, but a majority of the gains are made in the bear market, which is true. It is true. The risk is infinitely higher when it comes to investing into these smaller, more speculative altcoins. That's the honest truth. And I think you deserve to hear the honest truth. And so the way I see it, I got into Near Protocol, BitTensor, Venice Token. I still hold all 3 of them. And my largest position by far is BitTensor because I believe in, like I said, the concentrate your forces. I believe in having a majority allocation into the top AI cryptocurrency. Their subnets are worth, I think, $1.3 billion to $1.6 billion at any given time. Those are the startups building on this thing. So here's the idea behind it. So Venice Token has a metric ton of momentum. They are building on the privacy times AI narrative. What does that mean? Well, they are trying to go for 2 big narratives at once. Right now, privacy is a really big issue in the AI space. If I go to ChatGPT and I have any sort of conversation with my chatbot, I'm giving away data to OpenAI. I'm giving away data to Claude or the highest bidder. Usually they keep that data internally, but still, they're selling that data or they're using that data for some purpose or another. So please don't be exposing your social securities or any sensitive data into these chatbots. And so the big narrative in crypto right now is not only does it apply to that, but it also applies to our finances. And so that's why cryptocurrencies like Zcash that are trying to shield your transactions are taking a ton of attention right now. It's not that people are trying to do shady things. It's that people deserve privacy. Privacy should be a God-given right, but shouldn't it? I think any American can agree with that. And so what Venice is trying to do is build uncensored models, which are also privacy focused, especially in the agentic age where people are having these little AI agents going all over the place. I have local models. I have multiple AI agents. I've got a ton of different stuff. In fact, some of you might have realized very recently that some of the replies, if it says Jesus AI on it, then that's one of my sub agents, my YouTube comments sub agent replying. It'll actually reply to your comment, and then it will send me a summary of the thing that you want, which is pretty cool. I found that pretty cool and pretty productive, but that's just one of my sub agents. Anyway, so the point is we deserve privacy, and also AI is very exciting. And not only that, they have a lot of users. They have 3 million users right now, and every user that signs up, a portion of what they are going ahead and signing up with gets burned. That's great. This is this great flywheel. There's of course much more to it, but I'm not going to be going that in depth. We got into this thing at $9. Very happy with the position. I am not closing it right now. I know, it's greedy. Jesus is up 100%.
Yo, Jesus, if you see this, there's a VVV position on Aerodrome. I think it's VVV and like ETH or something. But I mean, I think it's got a good return too. Wait, let me check this real quick. Okay. Let me check this VVV. Oh, wait, 1 second, guys. Let me check this VVV. Okay, let me check this position right quick. Right, so we got, these are the positions. So if I was going to get into VVV, this is what I'm looking at right here. You feel me? 350% APR, 250% APR, 33% APR. And you got the ETH behind it, getting fees, you feel me? So, okay, so listen. This right here, we're on Aerodrome now. So he's talking about VVV. So what I'll be doing is trying to get some on here with some ETH, you feel me? Pull up with the DM. So these are some liquidity pools. So I might get some VVV, bro. Shouts out Aerodrome, you know what I'm saying? If y'all trying to send a check, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Aerodrome, you feel me? We outside, you feel me? Wait. Hey, yo, shouts out to Aerodrome, you know what I'm saying? In case y'all want to sponsor me, you know what I'm saying? We outside. Oh, wait. I want to give a big shout out to Aerodrome, you know what I'm saying? We got some liquidity pools right here we're looking at. We're checking out the VVV because that's what my boy is saying.
But, I'm not closing it right now. And so that is kind of what it is. And also, they have a really cool flywheel, just like Hyperliquid does, which Hyperliquid has been an absolute killer in the crypto space recently. You look at this chart. This is the most beautiful chart. And by the way, Jesus has been talking about it. Jesus has been talking about it. I have a long open right now. Anyway, so the point being is that you have to find
Gotta give me some Hyperliquid.
converging narratives. You have to find converging narratives. You have to find similarities. If you can find similarities in the top performing cryptocurrencies, you find gems. And also, you should have a majority of your portfolio allocated to the top performing cryptocurrencies because they will more than likely go ahead and concentrate most of the gains inside of that niche. And
Okay.
so one can suspect that while, yes, you probably might, there's a potential making like a 100x somewhere in here, this is like rolling the slots. Like there's no way of knowing that. Meanwhile, you know that most of the gains are being concentrated right now, as you can kind of see here, on the top performing cryptocurrencies. Like Near is probably going to keep doing well. Venice is probably going to keep doing well. BitTensor is, kind of coasting along right now. Had a really strong run last month. And so one can suspect that most of the AI cryptocurrency gains will continue to be made in that front. Near is also trying to be the connector of the agentic revolution. They're trying to connect AI agents to the blockchain because they're not going to be able to access a bank account. I think that's a cool idea. And then BitTensor is trying to coordinate talent, so they're coordinating talent all over the world to go ahead and solve problems. Most of the AI cryptocurrency gains will continue to be made in that front. Near is also trying to be the connector of the agentic revolution. They're trying to connect AI agents to the blockchain because they're not going to be able to access a bank account. I think that's a cool idea. And then BitTensor is trying to coordinate talent, so they're coordinating talent all over the world to go ahead and solve problems. A lot of them are AI related. And so that's the reason that BitTensor's been getting so much attention. They've been able to solve some pretty big problems. And so that is kind of where my head is at. I am, especially in a bear market, I'm not going to be overcomplicating it. I don't think that we're at the point where investing into 20 different cryptocurrencies is just going to net yield a positive result. I think the crypto space is still in a bear market, no matter how we might be thinking about it. Even if we think we've bottomed out, bear markets can still last quite some time, despite the fact that we've bottomed out. So I don't care what the current price of Bitcoin is at the moment. All I care about is that most of the gains are going to be concentrated to the top performers, which so far we've been correct on. Zcash and Hyperliquid have been doing phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, because they are leading their narratives. And most of the gains are still going to be there. I'm not going to rotate my Zcash into Monero. I'm not doing that at all. I'm going to keep my Zcash in Zcash. And I'm not going to go from Hyperliquid to BNB or something else. I'm going to keep it in Hyperliquid because Hyperliquid already has the most attention. It's already dominating, and it's not going to change anytime soon. It's not changing anytime soon. So you want to be allocated into these AI cryptocurrencies that are already leading their narratives because they're more than likely going to continue to do that until eventually the trend is broken. But by that point, we could have been hundreds of percents in difference. And plus, a lot of these other cryptocurrencies that don't have the attention right now might just keep bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. You don't want to be caught on that latter end. If your crypto is showing no signs of life after this much time, it's been a couple months now since the February 6th bottom. If your crypto hasn't shown any signs of life and continues to make new bottoms and new lows, it's probably dead. I mean, that's the blunt truth. It's probably not coming back unless they have some crazy marketing front that they're going to do when the bull happens. They're probably not coming back for any real reasons. They're just going to die. They're going to keep going down and down and down, and the gains are going to keep going to the top cryptocurrencies in the space. So I did want to share this. I think this is a very valuable lesson for especially.
Okay, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. We're going to keep streaming, but that's the end of the video. So if you get some VVV and Near protocol, so that's the plan. Okay, I'm going to holla at y'all. Okay, so next video. Okay, guys. What is up, guys? We are looking at Caspa's price looks dead reaction. Could this upgrade save it? I don't know what Caspa is. Hopefully she explains it.
Write this date down, June 5, 2026.
Write this date down.
In about 2 weeks, Caspa is flipping a switch that 9 years of engineering have been building towards, and almost nobody outside the core community is paying attention. I'm not being dramatic, this is the moment Caspa stops being a fast payments coin and becomes a fully programmable layer 1 with private apps baked into the base network. Yes, privacy is becoming a key part of this ecosystem. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. And if you're holding cash without knowing what Takata actually does, you're walking blindly into the most important window in this project's history. So hit the like button and stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll be ahead of 99% of people in crypto. Let me start with what Takata actually is in plain English.
Thank you.
It's a hard fork, or a network upgrade. The mainnet activation window opens June 5th and stays open until June 20th. Core developer Michael Sutton published a technical write
When is it?
or a network upgrade. The mainnet activation window opens June 5th and stays open until June 20th. Core developer Michael Sutton published a technical write-up on the upgrade back in April, and the way he frames it is the cleanest version of the story. Takata is the point where Caspa's high-speed payments layer finally meets programmability. Everything that made Caspa fast and secure stays exactly the same. The protocol just gains 2 new abilities. Quick context before I go deeper, because if you're newer to Caspa, this part matters. Caspa is a proof-of-work network, same family as Bitcoin, but it doesn't process blocks one at a time the way Bitcoin's network does. It processes them in parallel through what's called a block DAG network. So imagine a single-lane highway versus a 12-lane highway, both running at the same speed limit. That's the difference. The result is 10 blocks per second with confirmations that feel instant, and it puts Caspa in a speed category Bitcoin and most other proof-of-work chains can't reach. Up until now, Caspa's scripting capability has been intentionally minimal. Takata changes that, and everything the team has been holding back gets unleashed. Now, let me walk through what's actually inside this upgrade. The first new ability is something called covenants. In plain English, a covenant is a rule you can attach to your coins that controls how they're allowed to be spent in the future. Think of it like a will or a trust fund. You can program your cast to say things like, this can only be sent to my kids after a certain date, or this can't move until 2 of us sign off. All of that lives directly inside the coin itself. You don't need a separate smart contract, you don't need a sidechain, you don't need a middleman. The team is also shipping a new tool called SilverScript that makes writing these rules safe and developer friendly. And because of all of this, you finally get real native tokens on Caspa. Tokens launch directly on the base network, sharing the same security system. The second new ability is private apps. This is where things get really interesting. So imagine you could prove that something happened without revealing any of the actual details, like a receipt that confirms you paid for something without showing what you bought or how much you spent. That's basically what private apps on Caspa can now do. Takata gives the network the ability to check those receipts directly. No extra layers and no off-chain trust required. So a private payment app, a confidential trading platform, or a bridge that connects Caspa to other blockchains can do all their work behind the scenes and just hand the network a quick proof. The network checks it and moves on. And the timing for this couldn't have been better. The privacy narrative in crypto has been growing all year. People are waking up to the fact that every transaction on most public blockchains is fully visible to anyone with a block explorer. And conversation around that has gone from a niche concern to something every serious builder in the space is talking about. Now, look at the leading networks. Bitcoin doesn't have privacy at the base layer. Ethereum and Solana do have layer 2 and third-party apps that offer privacy features, but this isn't at the base layer. Caspa is about to be one of the very few, if not the only high-speed proof-of-work networks where privacy is baked into the protocol itself. That's a real differentiator going into a narrative that's only getting louder. There's also a cost angle to all of this that matters. On most blockchains, if you build an app, you end up paying for the whole network's activity, not just your own. Takata flips that. Your app only pays for what your app does. So build a small thing, you pay for a small thing. Build a big thing, you pay for a big thing. That alone makes Caspa one of the cheapest networks to deploy a serious application on. If you want this kind of deep dive on what's actually happening under the hood of these networks, subscribe to the channel. I'm reading the actual developer write-ups as they get published in real time and connecting the dots before they show up in price. This is the alpha that puts you ahead of everyone else. Now, here's the part most people are missing. This upgrade was originally scheduled on May 5th, and it got pushed to June 5th. But why did this happen? Well, the engineering team refused to ship something that might run into issues later on. They locked the features set in mid-April and forced themselves to slow down on purpose. Then they ran the entire hard fork as a simulation on the testnets between May 15 and May 18, and the results were good. Every rule activated cleanly. Every block kept flowing. The old version of the software disconnected from the new version at the exact moment the protocol design said it would. One of the community testers on X called it clockwork. So the dress rehearsal already happened and it went exactly the way you'd want it to, which is the strongest positive signal heading into mainnet activation. And once Caspa flips that switch, investors and institutions watching this space get a new high-speed programmable base layer on their radar.
Yo, Jeff, I don't have any Caspa either. There's like 2 other YouTubers I watch that are like, gotta get Caspa.
Now, there's no ETF or any ETP for Caspa in North America, although there is one on the European market. There will be regulatory hurdles to jump over before an ETF here becomes realistic, but it's definitely not impossible. And while institutions are busy finding ways to get their capital working around the clock, here's a quick question for you. If you've been holding crypto for months or even years, what has it actually done for you? Most holders are doing the same thing. Just waiting, hoping, watching the market move, but smart money keeps working while it waits. That's why I've been using Fortis X. You put your assets in
Okay, I don't know about this.
regulators. That's real risk. Yield. So let me put the
They always say that, but like every video, every time they do an ad, they're like, "I'm not a financial advisor. You could lose all your money." I'm like, I know you're supposed to say a warning, but like,
bear case on the table too, because hard forks are never zero stake events. The first risk is coordination. If miners and node operators don't actually upgrade to the new software in time, you can get a temporary chain split where the two versions of Caspa disagree on which blocks are valid. The team has built explicit disconnect logic to handle this, and the testnet showed it working. But the mainnet has way more participants and way more money on it than any testnet does. The second risk is new code. Every new feature is new surface area for bugs, and even with audits and testnet proof of concepts, you can't completely rule out complications showing up after activation. The third risk is adoption lag. A clean fork on June 5th doesn't automatically mean a flood of apps shipping on June 6th. Builders need weeks or even months to deploy. Past token hype cycles on Caspa spiked and faded fast, so I would not expect a vertical chart the moment the fork goes live. None of this kills the thesis though. The team's track record on conservative shipping is one of the strongest pieces of evidence we have that this gets executed correctly. Now, just stop for a second and look at the actual setup. Most of the crypto market right now is staring at macro headlines, ETF flows, and whatever the latest layer 2 narrative is. Meanwhile, a network that already has over 95% of its supply emitted, that already settles transactions faster than almost any proof of work competitor, and that has been engineering this upgrade quietly for years, is about to flip the switch on programmability. Now, many people outside the core community are talking about Tokata, and there's a simple reason for that. There's no meme to ride, no Twitter celebrity amplifying it, and no easy narrative to package.
oh yeah, I feel you. I'm not interested in it either. I'm just like, why does this guy keep talking about this? Okay, guys. So that's the end of the Caspa video. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about this. I gotta go do some research. Cause I looked at BitTensor. BitTensor is kind of interesting, but I don't know if I should put some land in there. But that's gonna be the end of the video. We gonna keep streaming. I'ma holla at y'all. Okay. So Caspa, let me check out this Caspa stuff right here. One sec. Because they're saying you can build apps. I got an app idea. Caspa. Oh, I can do. Okay, so apps. What are they talking about, these apps? Swap instantly. Swap projectile. Deploy token. Token Explorer. Okay, can we swap? So they can only swap these weird coins. Rewards. Let's check out the pools. 78%. Total volume 0. Staking pools. Total staked. Oh, okay. So you can swap to USDC or Tether. Okay. No liquidity pairs exist for these tokens. Looks like we got an opportunity. Okay. So I'm trying to see what these apps they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about. Dashboard. We can lend and borrow. Let's see what the no positions. Yeah, it looks like they need to redeploy this. No, I'm just joking. Casper. DeFi Casper. Okay. Okay, 1 second, guys. Casper. What are they talking about? Apps. Why it's built for apps. I don't. How Casper can. I still don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Private messaging powered by. Maybe this can. Peer-to-peer private messenger. No phone number. No email, bruh.
And is a private messenger that is built entirely
Yo, this is pretty crazy.
on the Caspa Layer 1. All right, so if you head to the App Store, you can search for Kachat and you will get a page that looks like this where you can then download Kachat onto your iOS device. I'm currently using a iPhone 15, but this will also work on iPad and also Mac OS. So once you download Kachat, you're going to have the app here.
Hey, you
and
got the
I'm gonna go
Bible on
into
there.
it,
You know it's
and the
good.
page is going to look very similar to this. Now, I already have a saved account on here, but we're just going to create a new one so that we can showcase how this will work. So you could choose between creating a new one and that you just is just as up screen, not able to cut. That is going to be where you can see your connection status. And as you could see here, I am connected to the Caspa network, and I'm also connected to the indexer and the push register, which allows notifications to work. And you'll know you have longer options. So the first one is estimate fees while composing. I like to have this on to see how much Caspa is being spent every single time I send a message, because every single message on this platform is a transaction on the Caspa network. And with as little as one Caspa, you are able to send over 50,000 messages, which is really crazy. And with 0.1 Caspa, which is what you get for free, means that you could send about 5,000 messages to start. The next setting toggle here is hide auto-created payment chats.
Yo, this is
So
pretty
every time you
crazy.
receive a
Bro, this is a crazy freaking app. Guys, I don't know what we're witnessing right now, but this is a crazy app. This guy has a messaging app on Caspa.
can then download Kachat. If someone sends you Caspa to this address that is on Kachat, it will actually generate a conversation associated with the payment that you just received. I like to keep this on sometimes if I know I'm going to be receiving a lot of payments, but if I am not going to be receiving a lot of payments at a current point of time, I'll keep this off, and I don't mind having a brand new conversation pop up every time I receive some Caspa. The next option is to show contact balance. So this is every time you go into a contact, the balance is going to be shown on the very top of the screen where you're seeing right now where it says 0 Caspa. The next option is going to be notifications. This is where you're going to be able to enable or disable notifications and also play a sound or have vibration. Now, the way that these notifications work and how you can customize the
Bruh.
sound is based on
Dude, so you could literally send money. So you could send money to someone. It turns into Caspa. Send it through. Nobody can track it. Then the other person gets it. Then turns it back into cash. And then you're good. Nobody can track it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I don't know.
on your settings
This app is pretty crazy.
within the to that contact, and then it will automatically whatever messages you send can only be seen by the recipient. And once the recipient sees that message, if you do not have iCloud turned on, you will not be able to see your messages because they would only be stored locally on the device. And if you delete this app or if you try to go onto another app on another device, you're not going to see those messages. So turning iCloud CloudKit on will allow you to create a backup of all of your sent messages, and it remains encrypted. And then you can also choose the option to just use things where you can change what indexer, what push registration, what Caspa name service, and what Caspa REST APR URL you are using. Now, the main things you would probably only be able to change is going to be the indexer so that you're not reliant on someone else, because obviously when you get the chat at first, so that other people can see that whenever they search for you, as won't see my message unless they also add me on their end.
Okay. That was very interesting. Good chat. I don't know if you guys know, but I have an app on the App Store. So. Interesting. Okay. Good chat, huh?
And put them in a point of force where they have to list it and they have no other choice, otherwise they just look like mass.
Oh yeah, I was watching this already. Okay. Okay, people, we're about to watch this video about LUNC. You heard me? Long phrase from the dead. I will never forget this dream. Okay.
I want to share with you a dream that literally I had last night. I think it's pretty profound, and I don't get dreams like this a lot, especially over specific cryptocurrencies. And without a doubt, I literally will never forget this dream the rest of my life. I just know it's one of those dreams. And sometimes when I feel that quality on a dream, it feels like it could be from the Lord. So I don't want to deem this as I guarantee the Lord spoke to me, but I do believe it is a prophetic insight or a vision that I received. So let me rewind you. I won't make this a big intro. I'll get straight to the point, but rewind about just over a year ago, I felt like the Lord told me that Luna Classic was going to raise from the dead. Because if you look at where previous price action, where we came from, I mean, obviously we had the Terra Luna collapse. And if you look at this on like the weekly time frame, literally it looks like a flat line. And I felt like this unction in my spirit to say, go look at the price action. That looks like a flat line. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh my goodness. And the first thing I felt was it has a heartbeat, because there was still price action movements back and forth. And when I saw that, after I heard, I saw like, oh, there's a heartbeat here. I feel like I genuinely heard the Spirit say, I'm going to raise this from the dead, where we are going to see price appreciation again. And I don't know if we're going to see the previous highs that we saw, but after last night's dream, it could be going a whole lot higher. So let me cut to the chase of what I saw last night. In the dream, I was in a home, actually a different home than I am now, but
Dang, I've been having some crazy dreams. Wait, dang, everybody left? It's all good. It's all good. Everybody's gone. Man, I had a dream. It was a weird dream.
it was a home. And I had this radio that was kind of on the ground, and there was a radio station that was playing, and I heard these people getting very excited, like a lot of like excited calamity, like something was going on, and it was, people were just very enthusiastic and excited, like something's going on, like this is going up there, and like that type of, anyways, that type of talking. So I have that part of the dream, and then I have my phone show up in front of me in the dream, and I see on TradingView, I don't know if I can show this to you guys here, but if you're on TradingView, let me show you this. Do you guys see how, I'm gonna try to get this close to the camera. Do you see how there's like those lines where you have like the line items? Luna was one of these line items. And it's funny because it was a white background just like my phone. I saw Luna, I saw the symbol, and I looked right. And I saw that Luna's price was at 10 cents. And people were freaking out on the radio. So like I heard them talking on the radio, and I felt like it was like broadcasters and like YouTubes and like the media that was talking. They were getting so excited, but it had...
Hey, if that joint goes to 10 cents or 1 cent or whatever, I'm about to go crazy too. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna go crazy. If that goes to 10 cents, I don't know. I was watching this video yesterday and they were saying that like they got all these wallets and like if they burn all the stolen funds or whatever, they literally might bring it back to hey, if you're watching this video, you might have heard it from me, bro. That's what I heard.
Had flown up to 10 cents really quickly. And I saw it on here. And it wasn't, I would probably say maybe 4 or 5 seconds after that in the dream, I hear them get even more excited. And I look at my phone again, and it is absolutely clear as day. It was at $1. Okay? Luna was at $1. So it went to 10 cents, and it felt like it went there pretty quickly. Because they were exclaiming on the radio about, whoa, this was not expected. This seems extremely exciting. And that was on 10 cents. But when the excitement was almost like at a peak, and my phone came to me again, Luna was literally at $1. I have had very, very, very few dreams like this. I had a dream where I saw XRP do the exact same thing. It went up to $29,900, $29,900 for XRP. But this is one of the only other dreams I've had in my entire life where I've seen a specific coin and I've seen an exact price in my dream. And I will never forget this dream. I just know I won't. It was so clear. 10 cents and $1 for Luna. So here's what I'll say here, guys. My members, that you guys are part of TradeConfident.io, I have not purchased anything yet. My job and my goal today and this weekend is to pray with the Lord to ask how much I should buy. But I will be buying back into Luna. The backstory is the last few days, I've had multiple prophetic individuals and brothers in my life that don't know each other, that are part of different Zoom calls I was on, tell me about Luna. And I'm like, you guys don't know about this guy, and this guy doesn't know about you, but you guys are all talking about these revelations of Luna right now. And I'm like, okay, Lord, if I literally said this, it's probably arrogant, but I was like, you know what? If you want me to get into it, I need a sign. And here I go. I go to bed last night, and I had one of the clearest, the absolute clearest dreams I've had for cryptocurrency. And it was Luna at 10 cents and $1. Obviously, if you get to 10 cents and $1, something is going to have to break somewhere in order for money to flow into Luna. I think there's going to have to be a breaking somewhere for Luna to get that high. But it actually matches very closely at that 10-cent mark and that $1 mark with what other prophetic individuals have seen out there. And I now have a personal dream that I really do feel like was a warning from the Lord to say, get some exposure, because I have no exposure to Luna right now. So I will call out to our members if and when I will be buying Luna. I just don't know how much, and I'm waiting for some funds to settle because I sold some silver. But I'll call that out. I don't know. They may have settled this morning. I literally just got up like 20 minutes ago. And they recorded this video, so it would be fresh for all of you guys. So I'll let you guys know as members. But I hope this video blesses you, and maybe this is confirmation for some of you guys who've had similar dreams about Luna Classic.
Oh, damn. That's crazy. Crazy. Okay. Let's go talk about buying a house. Okay, Shiba Inu. Okay, guys. Okay, people. We're about to watch the Shiba Inu video.
It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you all. Today, guys, we got to talk about the market shifting, or about to shift, to very much risk on. And with that being said, we will see meme coins rise again. And the debate right now is, What do we buy? Shiba Inu coin or Pepe coin? And in today's video, I'm going to be highlighting why I do prefer one over the other, but I think they will both do extremely and extraordinarily well. Now, remember, as always, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button and also consider subscribing to the channel. So, overall market has been a little shaky, but we are slowly but surely bottoming out and going on an extended rally. Before we talk about meme coins, we need to talk about Bitcoin. Now, over the last year, we saw Bitcoin touch its all-time high back in October of 2025, where it hit $126,000 per coin. Now, with that being said, over the last, since we entered into this very trying times in early 2026, February, we bottomed Bitcoin right around $60,000 per coin was the wick down. And then we have kind of been consolidating, but slowly coming back up now, hitting 76,000, breaking above 80K shortly to 82,000 beginning of May, on news that the US and Iran's war is coming to an end, and they have a peace deal coming. Unfortunately, things fell through, and then, again, a little bit of a retracement. Now, over the last day and even week, we also had a couple rallies, but then again, just uncertainty as we're awaiting the catalyst that will propel this market forward.
1 second, I'll be right back. I'll play something else for y'all. Y'all can watch. Y'all can watch this guy.
If I had to bet the house on one cryptocurrency in this next bull run, it wouldn't be Bitcoin, it wouldn't be Ethereum, it wouldn't even be Solana, it would be Caspa. And I know how that sounds, but by the end of this video, you're gonna understand exactly why I'm willing to plant that flag publicly. Because what is happening inside of this ecosystem in the next 30 days is the kind of setup that only comes around once a cycle. 2 confirmed hard forks in 2026. A wallet holding a position.
I'm about to watch this. I'll watch this.
Victor Wembanyama, at 22 years old, is single-handedly killing the NBA champs. This off a miss. De'Aaron Fox gets the offensive rebound. Wembanyama started to get back on defense. You have to, if you are Hartenstein, you cannot screw around in the paint. You got to go find Wembanyama again immediately off this offensive rebound. Instead, Hartenstein's going to gamble, trying to get a steal. And here's the problem. Even though he tried to get back on defense, he can just turn right around, and he's got logo range from 3. And then defensively, this is just where the Spurs are playing 6-on-5. They couldn't guard this handoff any worse. But look at Wembanyama, always lurking. So I'm going to get down here. But this is where Wembanyama is so special. Because he doesn't have to leave his feet, Castle's going to rotate to Gilgeous-Alexander. So naturally, Holmgren's going to cut here for a dunk. But Wembanyama can come over here and contest without leaving his feet. So then when Holmgren then comes down, now all I got to do is just turn my body, then I'll leave my feet and throw that back. This is just funny. Just right now, Mark Daigneault can go tell the scorekeeper, put 2 points for the Spurs. If you think that you can run drop coverage here on Wembanyama, that means Hartenstein has to go to the ball, which means Wembanyama's in the paint. It doesn't even matter if Hartenstein can recover or not. As long as he's in the paint right here, nobody's getting this ball. Just get it up, 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 and away. In transition, this is where he is so deadly. You have to be perfect in your transition defense. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's close, but not perfect enough. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, if you want to battle for a position out here, and that you got to get low, the low man is going to win here. If you think that you can just stand straight up and battle for position with Wembanyama, he's just going to bully you down into the paint. You got to get low and battle for space. Like look at right now, Wembanyama's just bullying him and that bang. And then once he's in the paint, all Vassell's got to do is just get this up, 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 up. This is where he's at his most deadliest, catching it in the high post. You have to send help, because if Hartenstein gets up and crowds him, Wembanyama's going to be able to rip through and turn the corner. So you got to take a half step back, but the problem is Hartenstein getting his hand up in the air does nothing. He's 7'4". I might as well get my hand up. Like, if these shots are falling, you just got to clap your hands. Like, you're playing off him so he doesn't spin by you. There's no help. You just got to hope this mid-range shot doesn't go in. And your contest does nothing, by the way. This is just a literal joke. Mark Daignault might as well just tell the scorekeeper 2 more for the Spurs. You cannot run drop coverage because Hartenstein has to go to the ball. So Wembanyama's coming in the paint. It doesn't matter that Aaron Wiggins is collapsing. As long as Wembanyama's in the paint, you can have all of Oklahoma City. There's 2 bodies around him. Does not matter because once he's in the paint, I just got to get it up. And he's the only one getting it. This is where he's going to be the greatest player of all time, doing things we've never seen. You get the whole package here. Flare screen coming. You can't go up the gut. You have to chase over the top with Wembanyama. Why? Because he's got Steph Curry range. So you went up the gut. On an up fake, you're always going to have to leave your feet. Bang. Now he's in the paint. Now it doesn't matter. And look at this, what he does while he's in the paint. He knows he's the only person once he's in the paint, he's the only one getting this ball anyways. So let's just chuck it off the backboard and get it right back to ourselves. Wow. In transition, you've got to be perfect, Jared McCain. Less TikToks, more getting back. You got to be sprinting back right now. You've got to be able to be in help. Because look what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's going to do. He's going to come uphill, and Wembanyama's going to go downhill and blow by him. So since McCain's not back, he's just walking to half court, and it's just an open jumper, and bang. Again, the Thunder do...
Oh, God. Okay, so we were...
Smartest possible way you could possibly trade it. Because we know that if you're using fundamental or technical analysis
Okay, I don't know what we was watching. What were you watching?
in crypto, you're going to get uppercut to the face because Elon Musk is going to tweet about a coin and it's going to skyrocket billions of dollars in market cap. And you're like, wait, that wasn't showing in the Fibonacci sequence on the chart. Everything in crypto is social arbitrage and narrative trading, where you need to know which influences are behind what coins as early as possible. So literally, when I started this channel, we were looking at the top influencers, people like Alex Becker, people like CryptoGo John, seeing what tokens they were getting into it.
Unusual whales. Mark Cuban has said he sold most of his Bitcoin as Bitcoin has lost the plot per CoinDesk.
Oh, please.
Guys, Mark Cuban is out. Okay? He's mostly out of his Bitcoin position. And you know what's so odd about this idea? We know that the collapse of Bitcoin is ever so near. Okay? You could tell because David Schwartz, I think, has 1 or 2 Bitcoin left. He sold his entire stack. And he sold all his ETH. Right? He barely has any left. He still holds 1 million XRP. But other people from other communities, like the Bitcoin community, are coming out saying they sold their Bitcoin. Right? Mark Cuban was extremely bullish. Okay? I wonder what people have to say about this. Interesting. Right? What changed? Well, Jack, the previous owner of Twitter, said Bitcoin, Michael Saylor, will turn into XRP. Right? Either they're going to all get out of their Bitcoin position and buy XRP with it, or Bitcoin's liquidity will flow into XRP. Okay, it could be that too, right? The transformation. So these people are now giving the call, guys, to get out of Bitcoin, to get out of not only Bitcoin, but Ethereum as well. Here's why. This comes from Yahoo Finance. Harvard sold off its entire $87 million Ethereum stake just in 1 quarter after buying it. This is Harvard, guys. Right? A top school in America. And
How did Harvard get 87 million? What?
I don't even remember when they bought Ethereum, but I do think they did buy Bitcoin before. But after buying it, they're like, nope, they just sold it. Right? $87 million. That's actually insanity. So let's go down here and see. Earlier this year, Harvard's endowment fund shook up its crypto approach by reducing its Bitcoin ETF exposure. Oh, so they sold some of their Bitcoin position as well, and adding Ethereum ETF shares. Okay, and it said they bought some ETH. Only
They're saying ETF exposure.
months later, however, the Ivy League school has refined that approach further, as its latest disclosures show that Harvard has shaved its Bitcoin position further and gotten rid of its Ethereum stake altogether. Okay, that's diabolical. I thought it was only Ethereum, but instead they sold some of their Bitcoin as well. And they're like, with ETH, let's just dump the entire stack. What's going on here? There's a trend happening. Do you guys remember when we said when these major players start selling, that's our signal that the collapse is right around the corner? Right? And it's happening literally before our faces. The latest move by the endowment managers means that this is the third consecutive quarter that the value of Harvard's crypto holdings has declined. Okay, so maybe that's why they wanted to get rid of it, right? But this is a good thing, guys, because, you know, they're smart. They are definitely smart into selling these certain assets. Okay, but here's free financial advice to Harvard. If any of you guys are watching this video, I advise you guys to buy some XRP. At least if you guys want to get rich, right? You should probably invest this money, like that $87 million of ETH, into XRP, right? Well, it's in cash now, but still, you guys get the point, okay? Quote, most people seem to be given this a couple of years. For Harvard, they own a bunch of other stocks, and stocks have done really well. So it might make it easier to absorb the losses in Bitcoin and sort of keep their position for a while, hoping it comes back, which it did a little in the last month. Okay, so Harvard is invested into stocks, guys, right? So they're making profits with that, which is why they haven't sold their entire Bitcoin position, right? They're waiting to see if Bitcoin does come back up. And I'm guessing if Bitcoin does dump from here on out later on, well, they're going to entirely sell off, okay, their whole position. So again, Mark Cuban is out of his Bitcoin position. Harvard sold some of their Bitcoin and entirely ETH position. But look at what's happening here with the Ethereum foundational layer from Kalshi Crypto. Justin, Ethereum Foundation researchers announced resignations amid ongoing exits. What? The ETH Foundation is
CEO on the 2027 bull run. Oh man. About to turn into Rage Guy. Alright guys, that's gonna be the end of the stream. Hope you enjoyed the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.